Dave Palumbo here with an RXMuscle news update. The Arnold Classic competitors list in the Men's Open has been released, and as we expected, Samson Dowda is at the top of that list. One of the pre-show favorites for sure. Samson had a terrific Olympia a few weeks ago, placing 6th, coming in massively bigger than we've ever seen him with that small waist, sweeping thighs, just a beautiful physique. I thought it would be a great idea for him to skip the Arnold actually and work on making improvements in the offseason, but it's so close between the Olympia and the Arnold. I think this is an opportunity for him to either win this show or at least place top 3 in this lineup. And I think that it's probably a good move on his part, and then he can kind of shut it down for the rest of the year and take a little break. But Samson Dowda has to come into this lineup as one of the favorites. However, I didn't know he was going to do it. And I thought he originally said he wouldn't do it, but I thought it was a good idea that he did do it. And the man I'm talking about is William Bonac. That's right, Bonak has also thrown his name into this mix. He's on the official lineup as well. Bonac's won this show twice before. He had an off Olympia for sure. What went wrong, we'll never know. Whether he overcarbed, over-direct, I don't know. He looked great a couple weeks out when he was guest posing. I hope he fixes whatever went wrong and comes into this show, redeems himself, and leaves with a win, because that would be huge momentum for Bonak for the rest of the year, knowing that, he did what he had to do. He brought his best look in. He's back in the hunt for the Olympia title, knowing that the title now is very volatile. Hadi Choopan is the champ, but he's a guy who is beatable, and Bonak's beaten him before, so I think that this is a good move for Bonak. I said it right off the bat. He can't end the year with that bad placing at the Olympia. I know it's leaving a terrible note in his throat. He's probably ready to throw up because he's, I'm sure, very upset with the fact that he didn't bring the best look. He's a guy who could have won this Olympia had he brought everything he needed to that stage. He just didn't. We're going to see him in this Olympia lineup. Super exciting. Also, another real surprise, and I think it's a great move on his part, is our 212 Olympia champ, Clarita, throwing his hat into the open ring. We've seen him do that before. He won an open show last year and had to choose between the 212 or the Open Olympia. They wouldn't let him do both. Why? God knows why. I don't know. But he's doing this Open Arnold Classic. Imagine he wins this thing. Can you imagine if Clarita wins this Arnold Classic and then he goes to the Open Olympia next year, or at the end of this year, I should say. We're in 23 already. That would be a crazy move. I think he has the ability to do it. He's got the wow factor. He really has no gaps in his physique. He's short, so even though he doesn't weigh a lot, it looks like he weighs a lot on that stage, and he brings in some of the best conditioning that I've seen, and he's got a lot of wow to his physique. I think this is a great move on his part. Another great move by another 212 bodybuilder is Kamala Garney, who was 3rd at the Olympia, who's also a former 212 Olympia champ. He's putting his hat into the open division. He competed in 2 open shows last year, nearly winning Tampa, and I think this is not a bad move for him too. I think he's 51, going to be 52 this year. It's crazy that Kamal can look this good at his age. I mean, it's a testament to the fact that, some people don't age the way the rest of us do, that's for sure. He looks great, and excited to see him in that lineup as well. Blessing Awadibu. This is more of a controversial decision. I don't know why he's doing this show. His legs were definitely down in size for the Olympia. I can't imagine that they were just flat. It looks like there was some size lost, especially in that left leg. He really needs the time to put more mass on. I would like to see him maybe do New York Pro or something like that, or Tampa. I think this is not a good move for him. As a person and personality, I think he's great, and it adds a lot of excitement to the lineup. Maybe he just couldn't say no to Arnold. They might have asked him. They said, look, this guy's one of the most exciting guys. He's got a big mouthpiece, and it helps promote the sport, and we want him in this lineup, and he's going to be in this lineup, so we'll have to see how he does. This is a little bit more of a controversial decision. Charles Griffin and Justin Rodriguez entering this lineup as well, both high-quality competitors that won shows last year, multiple shows, and I think we're going to see, you never know what we're going to see. I'm really surprised that we're going to see Justin Rodriguez. He did a lot of shows last year. I really felt he needed to take some time to rest his body. He's not doing that. He doesn't feel like he needs to. Let's see what he brings. I think good move on the part of Charles Griffin. He put on a ton of mass last year, or over this past year, and then he looked good at the Olympia, but maybe didn't peak quite the way he wanted to. This is a good move on his part as well. And of course, Akeem Williams, my old friend, always dangerous. Can win this show on any day of the year, depending on how these other guys look in this lineup. So hopefully Akeem finds the magic formula that he needs to bring the best look of his career. So that's the recap. Bonak and Samson Dowda are our two highest placing guys in the open category that have to be considered the favorites, with I think Sean Clarita and Kamala Garney, that wild card, former 212 champs. Sean keeps getting better and better. I think we could see a top 3 from Sean here, which would be amazing. Maybe even higher, depending on what these other guys do. Samson is a little off, maybe. Maybe Bonak doesn't dial it in the right way. You can get Sean Clarita as your 2023 Arnold Classic champ. Would that be a huge feather in his cap? Of course it would. Well, a lot of excitement coming up for the Arnold Classic. Good lineup. I like the fact that it's small, but good quality. We won't really know anything other than all the speculation we're going to make over the next couple of weeks. But you're going to stay tuned for all the RXMuscle Road to the Arnold coverage that we're going to have on the site starting in another week or so. And I love the fact that the Olympia and the Arnold was so close together. It's like we didn't lose the momentum from the Olympia. We go right into the Arnold, and I think we're going to see a great show. Good job, Arnold, getting the best quality competitors you can get. This is a tough get, especially after an Olympia that just took place. A lot of these guys want to just rest. I know they were really going heavily after Brandon Curry. He just felt his body, I guess, needed that rest, and I'm sure he wanted to go back and hang out with his family. You know, when he trains for these shows, he goes all the way over to Dubai or he goes over to Kuwait, and I'm sure his family misses him. So. Good move on Brandon. Plus, Brandon's getting a little older now. He doesn't need to do multiple shows a year. He's already Mr. Olympia. He can do the Olympia every year and never have to even do another show if he doesn't want to. So that's good news for him. I think it's smart for him to take a break at this point. His body probably is telling him, you know what, let's just chill out at this point. But for Bonak, excellent move. We'll find out what happens come 7 weeks. Dave Palumbo with an RXMuscle news update.